Estonia is the last truly European country before a big chunk of Russia moves in from the east. It has a fascinating mix of Slavic, Russian, Scandinavian, and its own unique culture. It goes from the beautiful windswept shores of the Baltic Sea and the Finnish Gulf in the north to the rolling forests around Tartu in the south. Along the way, it has some amazing and wonderful places to visit. Let's look at Estonia's best places to visit. However, before we begin our countdown, we would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and also press the bell icon. Let's get started. Number 1. Tallinn. The tall towers of Toompea Hill, which are a strange mix of Orthodox Ionian domes and medieval fortifications, make Tallinn, Estonia's beautiful capital, what it is. Below this is a walled city that looks like a chocolate box. It has stony streets and dark alleys that lead to an interesting market square and strangely named keeps like Fat Margaret rise above the twisted walls. Given that it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, has a beautiful collection of historical buildings, and has a lot of shops, beer halls, and Estonian restaurants, it's not hard to see why it's becoming one of Europe's most popular capitals. And that doesn't even include the bohemian streets of Kalamaja or the palaces and parks of the Kadriorg district. Number 2. Pärnu. The Pärnu has one of the best stretches of purely white sand in the Baltic. It is right on the edge of its own little inlet on the coast of the Gulf of Riga. It is backed by the brand new and always lively beach promenade, which has fountains, restaurants with outdoor seating, and a really great bike track. And in the center of town, Art Deco buildings from the 1920s give the resort a touch of class. Spas pop up out of nowhere on street corners, Rutley Street plays music at night, and charming wooden villas dot the area. In short, this one is the summer capital of Estonia. Number 3. Otepää. In the warmer months, a small number of hikers and mountain bikers come to Otepää's winding trails in Valga County to walk through the dense fir forests and circle Pahajarv Lake on foot. But when it snows, this city, which calls itself the winter capital of Estonia, really comes into its own. Nordic ski trails go deep into the woods, the ski jumps are cheered on by the locals, and the different downhill alpine runs have a mix of easy and hard slopes. Aside from outdoor activities, Otepää has a beautiful church spire and the crumbling remains of an old citadel that history buffs will enjoy. Number 4. Summa National Park. In all of Estonia, the Summa National Park is without a doubt one of the most breathtaking and enthralling locations to visit due to its flooded forests and otherworldly bayous. When all is said and done, the site comprises a staggering 359 square kilometers of undulating dunes and low-lying peat bogs, which, depending on the time of year, might be reddish-brown, verdant green, or ice-caked white. It should come as no surprise that ecotourism has experienced significant growth in this region in recent years. Today, outdoorsy tourists and daring types flock here to paddle canoes and kayaks through the water capillaries of the Rodna River and Pärnu Basin, or to hike through the alluvial meadows in the company of cranes and crooked wooden farmhouses. Number 5. Saaremaa Island. A panorama of washed-out timber windmills and breezy meadows, huge spruce forests and stunning coastal stretches fragrant with juniper and Baltic salt can be found on the much-touted island of Saaremaa, which is right up there with Tallinn. Those who enjoy walking and being outdoors will have a great time getting lost in the reaches of Lud, wandering between the mysterious Kali-Metirit craters, beautiful Bear Lake, and the hot springs of Puhatu, or braving the sea winds at the sacred Panga clifftops. Lod is known for its abundance of orchids. The native Saaremaa people are also responsible for the region's unique flavor. They have their own folklore and peculiar traditions, a profoundly sardonic sense of humor, and to top it all off, they produce excellent vodka. Number 6. Narva. When compared to the other main urban centers in this Baltic nation, Narva's personality is completely unique due to its location on the Estonian border with Russia in the country's most remote eastern region. To begin, an overwhelming majority of the residents speak Russian, and the personality of the area leans more toward Moscow than Tallinn and the EU, which is located further to the west. Herman Castle is the crown jewel of Narva, towering tall and strong in its whitewashed keeps and stone bulwarks above the city. The brutalist reconstructed center of the castle offers an interesting glimpse into the indelible Soviet impact. And then, there are the adjacent resort strips of Narva-Josu, which come equipped with the country's longest beach and several highly regarded spas as an added bonus. Number 7. Matsalu National Park. The Matsalu National Park is a real wonderland for nature lovers and wildlife watchers traveling through Estonia. It is a beautiful patchwork of riparian wetlands, reed grass plains, and blooming flood meadows along the Kasauri River Delta. The birds in the 400-square-kilometer park are especially well known because they include endangered species like the white-tailed eagle, huge flocks of barnacle geese, tufted ducks, and the continent's largest migration of cranes. Wild horses can also be seen grazing in the wetland areas, moving around between the fishing huts made of wood and the Suitsu hiking trail. Number 8. Hema Island. Hema is the second largest island in Estonia. It rises from the Baltic Sea in a mix of windswept coves and coastal fir forests and is connected to the rest of the country by Europe's longest ice road in the winter. People who come here often go straight to the coast, which is almost completely alone and full of old lighthouses like the stone-covered Kapu Lighthouse, which is one of the oldest in the world. In the island's interior, crooked wooden farmhouses and creaking mills meet dense beech forests at Suuramoisa Park, and earthy tavernas fill the air with the smell of smoked place fillets. Number 9. Tartu. Officially, Tartu is Estonia's second-largest city, but the people who live there like to think of themselves as joint first. This southern stronghold of students and people who speak Russian is fiercely independent from the much bigger capital in the north. It is best known for its intellectual achievements. It has Estonia's best university, which is made up of neoclassical columns and rises right in the middle of the town. Nearby is the leafy area of Mägi, which is the city's old citadel and where the ruined nave of Tartu Cathedral gives off an eerie sense of history. Tartu also has a lot of young people because it has a lot of lecture halls, and the summer nights are taken over by beer bars and underground clubs. Number 10. Tuhala. The Tuhala is one of Estonia's most important historical sites because it has evidence of people living there more than 3,000 years ago. It gives visitors a look at the time before Tallinn's great medieval fortifications were built. Yes, sir, this earthy area has strange groups of cult stones and old religious statues, strange carvings that look like cups, and sacred sites that smell like pre-Christian traditions. There are also old wooden roads from the 4th century and, of course, the legendary witch as well. This is a unique phenomenon that happens when the underground channels of the region's karst system bubble up and overflow from a rustic well into the surrounding farmlands. That's it for today. We hope you found our video interesting. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new uploads. In the end, thanks for watching and see you next time.